President Koroma, from all the efforts that I've seen that yourself and your government have made, it's very clear that for Sierra Leone it's important that investors come to your country and see what it is that they can do in your country. One, for them to make a profit in your country, but also for the country to benefit from it. Why is it that you and your government are doing all these efforts to attract? Why is it so important?
Well, it is important, especially at this point in time, because Sierra Leone have been out there in the world for the wrong reasons. People only have a perception of Sierra Leone when pictures of a warring nation are presented, amputation, poverty, deprivation, and I believe that we have had that past, but we should not be defined by that past. That is why, as a government, we are now focusing on bringing to light the good aspects of Sierra Leone, the great investment potential that exists in Sierra Leone, the great opportunities for investors, both international and local, to make in Sierra Leone. And we believe that the opportunities in Sierra Leone are unique, and they are so great that we have to go the extra mile to, in the first place, change the perception that Sierra Leone is considered out there, and also let people know that with all that we have, Sierra Leone is not only the place to go, but comparatively, I think it is the best place to go for business.
Okay. Now, some of that business is quite obvious when you talk about minerals, for example. I mean, people interested in that will find your country, no doubt about it. But there's, of course, other opportunities. Are there particular sectors that you would like to see, in this case, European investors get an interest in?
Well, you mentioned minerals. Yes, the mineral sector is quite important because we have unique opportunities there. I think from the latest discovery, we are now the country with about the largest deposit of iron ore within the sub-region, and the exploration is still ongoing. But as at now, I think we can talk about 11.5 to 12 billion known reserves. Now, in addition to iron ore, we also have bauxite, we have rutile. Of course, we are known for diamonds, and the diamond business is still going on, except that now it is a kimberlite operation. And so we have this abundance in the mineral resources. Now, beyond the mineral resources, we also have the agricultural sector bearing a great potential. The ecology that we have, the rainfall, the plentiful rainfall that we have, the flowing streams all over the place, such that Sierra Leone is a place for a commercial agricultural activity. And we have started realizing that great interest is now pouring in. Big companies are coming in to engage in commercial agricultural activity. We are also transforming the lives of the local farmers to expose them to commercial farming activities. So we also have a great potential there in the agricultural sector. Now, we are also a nation that is blessed with unique agricultural features. Our beaches have second to none within the sub-region. The topography and the scenery of the city is quite interesting and could be a great attraction to tourism. And we also have hills and mountains and parks, and that we have. Some of them we have declared national parks. We have game reserves that we are to develop. So we also have a huge potential for tourism. So in addition to mining, this agriculture, tourism, and our location as a nation, as a country, is such that we are very close to Europe, 6 hours away from Europe by flight, 4 hours from South America, 7 hours to America. South Africa is 6 hours. So we can also utilize that unique location to become an air traffic hub, and that can also be done in marine business, because fortunately we have the third deepest natural harbor in the world. So these are great opportunities that are now making themselves available for investment and for transformation as a transshipment center. So these are all opportunities that we have, that we are putting out to the international community, we are putting out to the world for investors to take advantage of. And we have been preparing the environment, changing the laws, ensuring that we become more business friendly, we reduce the cost of doing business, improve on our systems, and these have really earned us enviable positions, to the extent that in the just reported doing business index,
the World Bank,
Sierra Leone is considered to be one of the 10 top reformers of the world.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And we are now the easiest place to do business within the sub-region. The investments, capital protection is also rated very high. And I think we are making progress. All of it is for the world to know that Sierra Leone is now the place to do business.
Yes, yes. Well, congratulations on doing so good on the World Bank Index, doing business index. You talked about tourism. Now, coming back to tourism, before the war, your country was known as the Nice of Africa. I mean, I've been to your country, so I know how beautiful your beaches are and how beautiful the forest behind the beaches is. So it's really, really something that would be perfect for a lot of tourists. Now, I also know that accommodation, there's not that much yet, so there must be so many opportunities. And it seems to me that the beginning is the right time to step forward and take action. What is your opinion about that?
Well, yes, I mean, you've already mentioned that we have unique touristic potentials. Great, that could be transformed. But they could only be transformed when the infrastructure is built. And we are working very hard on that. We are working on the roads. We are doing up the energy, trying to provide energy. And we are also attracting a lot of big names in the tourism business, hoteliers, that are already in the country and engage in the process of refurbishing the hotels. We have the Hilton Group is involved in the refurbishment of the Cape Sierra Hotel. The Radisson Group is in the Mamioko, and we have one or two other Chinese groups that are already involved in the Bintimani. So there's a transformation of our infrastructure. You know, it will take some time, but I'm sure very soon we will get there, wherein we will open up all of this, create the infrastructure, and attract the place, because we have natural surroundings that you really cannot take away from us. I mean, you have to be there to really fully appreciate the beauty of our beach, the beauty of our topography, our natural parks. I mean, rivers and streams, and all of it is so beautifully done, and so that I believe the country holds a great potential for tourism as well. And with that transformation, we will very soon.
Yeah, definitely. Also, the population is very friendly, which helps for tourism, of course, and it's not a dangerous country, which helps as well. So definitely the potential is there. Now, apart from minerals, apart from tourism, what other sector would you like European businesses and European industry to take an interest in Sierra Leone?
I mean, you see, in the mineral sector and tourism and agriculture, I mean, there are processes, value chains involved in it, which are also opportunities. But like I mentioned, that even trade can provide opportunities in the country. There is a transshipment opportunity in the country, where labor force is now being slowly developed to the point where individuals become skilled and competitive. So, and I believe that it's cheaper to establish industries there. We have started the establishment of export processing zones, and we have initiated 1 or 2 projects. These are for the export markets, and I believe that investors can also come in and invest in the manufacturing business for the international market. We are very close. The cost of production is comparatively cheaper. So I think at the end of the day, it will be a win-win situation for the investor and Sierra Leone.
Yeah. And what about the whole more service industry, like it being IT, for example, or banks, or more of that industry?
Yeah, the financial services and information technology sector are also progressing. As we are speaking, we now have at least 8 banks that are non-Sierra Leonean banks operating in the country, and the number of interests that have been expressed by the other banks that want to come in is also growing. This is an indication that Sierra Leone can also easily become a financial center. We have just landed the fiber optic cables in Freetown, and very soon, in the next couple of months, we will be connected. That will really further integrate Sierra Leone into the international community, and it will help in accessing and dissemination of information, and it will also help in the overall enhancement of the quality of services that are provided. So these are major efforts that we have made, especially in the landing of the fiber optic cable, to smoothen, enhance, and capacitate the doing business in the country.
Yeah. Now, you were talking about infrastructure before, and of course for infrastructure it's quite important to get donors involved in your country. Why is it important to not only work with those donors, but to also attract those private investors?
Well, the donors have been helping us, and we have succeeded in improving on our infrastructure, connecting the cities and district headquarter towns, and also using support from them to open up our agricultural areas through the feeder road construction. But we believe that we need to do a lot more than what we have been doing, especially in the energy sector, because of the potential increase in the demand, which will soon be taken up by the mining companies, and because of the improvement in the quality of life of the Sierra Leonean. We are encouraging the private sector to come in. We are changing the laws of our energy sector to ensure that we make room for private sector participation, independent power producers, because the need for power will be so huge that we cannot just limit it to our efforts as a government.
Yeah.
We have to involve the private sector to come in.
Yeah.
And we are also looking at the connecting Freetown and Lungi, the construction of a bridge, as a private sector opportunity. We believe that in addition to the airport, there are also possibilities of extending the city or constructing a new city at the other side of the river. But these issues that we are trying to interest the private sector to come in, get Sierra Leoneans and the private sector to participate in the creation of these new great opportunities. These are areas that we're trying to get the private sector to come in, because we know that it is not just government and donors in the infrastructural development, but we believe we have to open it up to the private sector as well.
Yeah. Now you were talking about the airport, and I heard that there might be a new airport coming in the years to come. Could you say a little bit more about that?
Well, there are two things here. We are working on the refurbishment of the existing airport, and also building up a city around that airport, and that will lead us to the construction of a bridge. But these are private sector initiatives that we have put out, and we are trying to interest private sector players. Now, in the case of the second airport, we have had discussions with the Chinese government, and they have made, in principle, they have committed themselves to assisting with the construction of a new airport in the mainland. And of course, you know that the airports are not constructed all by themselves. There must be surrounding facilities and also maybe structures that will have the semblance of a new city, again created around the new airport. So these are all opportunities that are now in the pipeline that will help in the transformation of Sierra Leone.
Yeah, definitely, because Freetown is also quite congested. There's a lot of traffic jams right now, so that would definitely help. Now, considering that most of the people viewing this interview will be Europeans, any special message to those European investors?
Well, my message to them is that Sierra Leone is transforming. Sierra Leone is the place to do business. It is the place to do business because we have unique business opportunities. It is a place to do business because the government is making a deliberate effort to ensure that we become business friendly, and these efforts have been recognized and appreciated by institutions like the World Bank in rating us as among the 10 top performers in the world. It is the place to do business because the people are friendly, the government is pro-business, and we believe these are opportunities that should be grabbed by investors. The country is safe, stable, we are a democracy, the human rights are respected, we are known to have transformed ourselves from a country that was in need of help from the international community to a country that is now helping others to be stabilized. We send our troops out or keep peacekeeping in other countries. And these are all efforts that we have made and signals that we are sending that indeed, with our unique opportunities, you cannot have any better place to do business other than Sierra Leone.
Yeah. Well, personally, I wish you all the best with attracting all those investors, and I do think you have a wonderful country as well for, specifically for tourists then, and when the tourists come, they will see what your country is like, and they will get an interest in investing at the same time as just being a tourist. So I thank you very much for the interview, President Koroma.
Thank you. Thank you.